You know, I wonder if these three ideas really are the secret to our increased success. I came across this quote, which I'm going to share with you in a moment, some years ago, and I remember sharing it with the members of one of my mentoring groups, and we discussed this in some great length. Now, this isn't going to be a long video where I go into great long discussions on this, because I think the idea is simple to grasp. Let me just share it with you straight away. I'm going to look at my screen when I've got it written down so I read it accurately for us. Your success in life will be determined largely by your ability to speak, your ability to write, and the quality of your ideas in that order. And as you can see, that's by Professor Patrick Winston from MIT. And I think this is really important in the fact of the way that he stated the order of these things, and it's something worthy of our consideration. So he's saying it's our ability to speak, our ability to write, and the quality of our ideas in that order. So why has he put speaking first? Well, I've seen so many people. It's a beautiful quote by Warren Buffett that talks about how it's so important to be able to speak in public. And in fact, in his office, there used to be a diploma, but it was the diploma from the Dale Carnegie Institute of Speaking that he'd been on this course, not the other diplomas he had, because he knew it was so important. And this is why I think it comes number one, is because when we are able to speak effectively, persuasively, and confidently in public, we don't only express our own ideas, and that's what we've written, but we also express the ideas that we've learned from other people. Of course, we say where they've come from, but very often there'll be an idea that we learned and then something we know, and we put those two together and we come up with something new. And it's all very well coming up with something new, but if we can't express it to somebody, and very often these days, in the days of video, it's so important to be able to speak in public, confidently, persuasively, powerfully. So that's why I believe that it's right to have speaking as the top one. Then secondly, our ability to write. You and I come up with great ideas all of the time. We're watching TV or having a conversation with somebody. We're simply walking down the street and we see something that sparks our imagination and we come up with good stuff. But if it's held up there and nothing happens with it, it's gone, it's no good. So we've got to be able to take it out of there and craft appropriate words in such a format that we're able to share what it is that we know that makes it easy for somebody else to take that idea and use it. Maybe we create a template for them to make it easy for them to put it into practice, or a mind map so they can understand it and retain the information. So I think writing is really important. And I can understand why Professor Winston put it as the second one. And then the quality of our ideas. But to start with, you'd think the quality of the ideas comes first. Well, no, it does. It comes first because it comes first, but it's bottom of the list. Because yes, ideas are fantastic, but they're nothing without being able to write them down and then use them. And then they're again nothing unless, particularly in today, we're able to communicate them by speaking, not only writing. So this is a wonderful idea, but is it just an abstraction? Is it just something we can think about? And, oh, yeah, that was great. Thanks very much. Goodbye. Or what can we do with it? This is what I think we can do with it. I like the idea, and I use this a lot in my life, of self-checking, is giving myself a score out of 10 marks for how good I am at doing something, which prompts me to improve. So if we're looking at these three ideas, let's start with the bottom one, or the first lower one, which is the quality of our ideas. As a mark out of 10, how good are we at coming up with creative solutions for the problems that life throws at us, including those thrown at us by our clients? So how good are we? And if we can't say 8, 9, 10 out of 10, even if we can say 8 and 9, maybe we want to be thinking, well, a minute, how can I improve my output of quality ideas? And there's many ways to do that. Read out about creative problem solving. Obviously, lots of ideas out there in the marketplace. Secondly, then, as a mark out of 10, how good am I at writing? If it's not the level we believe it should be, then we can be taking action. We can go on courses, we can watch YouTube videos, we can attend all sorts of meetings with people to find out how to write better. And of course, then our speaking. How good, how confident are we, how certain are we about our ability to speak in public? And if it's not at the level yet that we feel it should be, what can we do about it? Well, I think what we can do is we can start to keep records. There's a lovely expression, isn't it, that says the only people who break records are the people who keep records because the others don't know. So if we start to keep records of our activity and we create a feedback loop that says, this is how well I performed in these 3 areas, then that prompts us to want to take action in order to improve. And it's this constant small improvements, isn't it, that really get us to where we want to go in life. I've heard this said so often, and I heard it just on a video this morning I was watching on YouTube. And I think it was attributed or said possibly by Jeff Bezos, but I did look up and it wasn't originally from him. It may even have come from military training. And the idea was this, is that slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So this slow progression of improvement is what gives us fast improvements at the end of the day. So I hope that this little thought process from me about these 3 ideas was useful to you. You can actually not just listen to it, but you can take it away and use it if you've enjoyed this or not. There's plenty more of my slightly off-the-wall ideas on videos around here. And in the meantime, I wish you, is that the right one? We don't want that one, do we? We want that one. I wish you every success in all your adventures in life. From me, Peter Thomson, until the next time, goodbye for now.